Perfect. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Perfect. Right, guys. I am here with Eric Shelton, UFC Flyweight. Eric is fighting March 23rd against Jordan Espinosa. Eric, how are you doing, my friend?
Doing good, boss. How about yourself?
I'm doing very well, thank you. I'm doing very well. I'm not got a fight next weekend, so I'm probably doing, I'm enjoying myself. So what about yourself? And so, how does these next sort of 8 days look for you? When do you fly over? What's the plan now for the next 8 days?
I take off to Nashville on Tuesday, so the next few days I'll just be fine tuning and focusing on getting my weight down and stuff like that. But yeah, Tuesday I take off, and then the rest of that week just be cutting weight and doing media obligations.
Nice, man. So, what's your average sort of 3-4 weeks before the fight? How much do you usually walk around at? Does it fluctuate? Is it always the same?
Well, this fight was a little different because there was talk of me going up to 135. So I kind of tried to bulk up a little bit. So I got up to like 147, I believe. So I started to cut a little bit heavier than normal. Usually I walk around at like 140. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't too hard though. I mean, the weight falls off me pretty easy, man. I train so much, it's hard to keep weight on. But yeah, man. So the weight cut's always real smooth for me. I don't really have trouble with it at all.
No, it's good to hear, mate. So obviously, Jordan Espinosa, you're saying in the background.
Okay.
So Jordan, hey, how you doing? So yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's it, mate. So Jordan Espinosa, so obviously the guy known for the Dana White Contender Series. Did you catch him on there, or was it when you got matched, you watched you went back and watched his fights?
Yeah, after I heard who I was fighting, I went back and watched him. I kind of follow the Contender Series a little bit, but I try to stay more focused to the guys in the higher rankings than me. But yeah, I mean he's a tough opponent. Anybody in the UFC is going to be tough, but I feel he's definitely beatable, and I feel I'm gonna go out here and get a finish on this cat.
No, it's going to be a good fight. Obviously, he had 2 cracks at the Contender Series. First one, he got a dash choke, didn't get a contract, came back, got like a late finish. It was like 4 minutes 58 seconds of round 3. So he's on a 4-fight win streak, but he's an entertaining guy. But then so are you. I remember seeing you on Tough. I remember that series very, very well. Like my favourite guys from that series were yourself and Kai Kara France. And to be fair, and Matt Chanel. I thought I saw him on MTV Caged. So that's
man, I remember that show. I watched that too. When I met him on the show, I'm like, dude, you're the dude from Cage. It was kind of cool, man. It was a little surreal because when I watched that show, I was like, man, I can fight that guy. I can fight that guy because he's at the same weight then too. So yeah, it was pretty cool, man.
No, yeah,
Kai's my boy too. Kai Kara France, that's my buddy, man.
Well, that's me. Both of them coming off wins as well. Obviously, Kai fought in Australia, and Matt fought at 135 last week. At Wichita. So, do you still keep in contact with anyone from the show? Anyone like that?
Yeah, definitely, man. There's a lot of guys from the show that I talk to. Keep in contact with Kai, Matt, Jamie Alvarez I train with now. Pantoja I train with now. My boy Rizzo from the show. A lot of those guys, man. It was a tight knit group we had going down out there. So most of those guys I still stay in contact with.
And that's what I mean. I think one of the problems Tough has had in recent years, as there's been an argument over the level of some of the competitors on Tough, but that series, it was all just absolute. It was champions. They're all savages. Everyone was just at that peak level. Like the first fight of the series was Kai, and he ended the guy in like 9-10 seconds. So it just showed. It really just showed. And obviously, 16 champions. You were ranked 15 on the show, but so that you were seen as somewhat underdog, still a champion. You came through. You beat the number 2 guy in your first fight. You came through again, then you beat the number 7 guy, and then you lost only by decision to Tim Elliott, who, had a close fight against Demetrius Johnson. So, really strong from that, and you really came with an exciting style. Obviously, the UFC career didn't start off at the best, but you've bounced back. You've looked game every fight. There's never been an argument about that. Coming off your last win in November. So what have you been doing in these last few months? I saw you're at American Top Team now.
Yeah, yep. I love American Top Team, man. This best coaches, best teammates, Had to get somewhere where I could excel.
Yeah, it's the amount of competition there. So how long have you been training there now?
It's going on a year now. I've been there about 9 months.
And so have you actually? So what's the vibe like when you go to a big team like American Top Team, aka these sort of teams who are just notorious for it? Is there like a fraternity thing? There's like a staging thing to prove that you should be there. Were they welcoming straight away? Like how did it really work from there? Obviously you knew people from the show, but yourself
Yeah.
going.
So for me, I came down. I have a buddy that trains here that I used to train with, Josh Smith. He lives here, and he came out here to live. So I came out here for like a week, just to try it out, to see how it was, man, about the coaches and stuff. And I told him, I mean, I loved it. That right out the gate, I was like, man, this is where I need to be. Just simply because of the competition there. That's what drew me in. And so literally like a month later, I packed the family up, packed the U-Haul, and we were down here. So, I feel when I got there, I started to get attention right away due to that, because they realized I moved the whole family, and they it's a good gym, man, and they all have good hearts. And Conan's a great head coach, so he took a liking to me pretty fast. And yeah, man. So it's just about, I feel like some gyms like that. I mean, there's guys in there that say that they don't get the attention they feel they deserve. But again, that's all preference. For me, I like to get in there and grind. If a coach takes a liking to me, I'll take that attention. But I feel I get the most experience from training with great partners.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. So, what was the vibe like? Has Dos Santos' JDS come back to the gym yet since his fight, or is he taking some time off?
Yeah, not yet. I'm sure he's spending time with the kids and family. But man, that guy's like a big kid, dude. He's such a good energy in the gym, man. He comes around messing around like a big old kid, man. He's awesome.
But that's it, mate. Sydney's what an extra 140 pounds heavier than you. He still acts like a big
Yeah,
kid,
dude,
though.
he's so big, man. And he's so funny and just always smiling. He's such a good energy to be around, man.
No, that's good. I can imagine is he seen as he's one of the pioneers of heavyweight division UFC. Him and Kane really. I think they put the UFC heavyweight back on track.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's it, mate. That's it. So you said you may have fought at 135 for this next fight. What sort of changed that? Was it just a call? Like, how did that come about? Coming back to having a flyweight about?
Just like the talk of the flyweight division being being them getting rid of it, I was just like, I'm down to go to 35. I just put it in their ear that 35 is definitely an option for me if they get rid of it. I can always bulk up. So
Yeah, mate. Yeah, sorry, cut out for a second. So you were saying you were happy to go to 35, but they offered you to 25.
yeah, then they called me with this fight, and I'm not gonna say no to any fight. So I said, yeah, man. And granted, I was looking to get a guy with a number by his name, but it is what it is. Go out here and get a finish and prove why I belong in the top 10. That's the plan.
Well, that's it, man. I think people coming off the Contender Series at the same time, even though obviously they're not ranked, there's still hype behind them. Like, look at Johnny Walker, for example. And for you to come out and impress against your opponent, I think it's going to be an interesting fight. So how invested are you in sort of just MMA as a fan point now? Obviously, I can imagine growing up you were a fan. That's what got you into it. But now that you're so engulfed in it every day, training 2-3 times a day, like, will you watch UFC London this weekend? Do you like to stay away from it? Because some fighters, they don't even like to watch fights anymore. Just you like the escape when you're home, kind of thing.
Man, that's the only thing I watch is fights, man. Like a lot of people, be like, oh, do you watch the NFL? I don't watch any other sport but fighting. I can always learn from, all the talent in the UFC. You can always learn from watching. So I definitely try to catch all the cards, and I never get tired of it, man. I love it, and I've always have. So yeah, man, I definitely, that's the only thing I watch, man, is fights pretty much.
So what's your prediction for Till versus Masvidal?
Of course, I'm a little biased. Masvidal's at my gym, so I'm gonna have to go with him. But that fight's that has fireworks written all over it. Both those guys are dogs. They come in there and they just throw down. So it's an exciting fight no matter the outcome. But I'm definitely gonna go with Mazadov for sure.
Yeah, no, I think like I said, I'm a little biased as a Brit, but I do definitely respect Masvidal. Did you see earlier on when Ben Askren was doing his Q&A?
I seen a little bit of I've seen a little bit of it. Yeah.
It's really short, just Darren Till just out of nowhere, and the crowd erupts. I think he's hopefully he's not thinking too much about Askren because Masvidal is no joke, but he seems to be focused on him. So did you train with Masvidal? Masvidal, like, was he obviously as a comeback fight for him in a way? He's had a lot of time off. Like, what was the vibe like in the gym? When did you last see him?
It was he was in the gym a few weeks ago, but he goes between gyms. He trains out in Miami as well.
Exactly.
But the gym, when he comes to the gym, man, he's always in there putting in work, man. He's a tough cat for anybody in there. So yeah, I know he did a little I don't know, a little reality show or something he was doing for a little while.
Yeah.
And I think it actually helped him because he came back and he's all shredded up now, man. Got a little 6-pack on him and stuff. So yeah, he's been training hard. I know he's excited for this fight, man. I know this is a fight he wanted. So
that's it, mate. He's come back shredded with long hair. He looks like a Cuban Elias Teodoro or something like that. That's what he looks like right now. He's looking good. So it's going to be an interesting fight. It really, really is. So yourself. So who's going to be in your corner for your fight?
I have Conan, Pahumpa, my jiu-jitsu coach, and then Cattell, Muay Thai striking coach.
Cool. And there's no other. Are there any other fighters on the card from your gym? I think you're the only one from ATT that week, right?
Yeah, no, I have Jussier from Mega is going to be fighting as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you guys training hard together. Is it easier to have somebody within your team? Because obviously, before ATT, it might have been quite rare for people from your gym to be fighting on the same card. So yeah, what's the vibe like? When you've got someone who's going through everything with you.
It's amazing, man. Because when you're the gym I was at before this was it was Pete Spratt's Muay Thai. I was the only guy there that was in the UFC, so it's hard to gauge how hard you should be working. Granted, I've always been a hard worker.
Yeah.
But at ATT, I've learned a little bit more. Sometimes taking a little bit of rest is a little smarter because I will burn myself out all the way to the day. So I picked up a couple good traits out here. I feel like it's helped me a lot in my fights as far as like conditioning and stuff. And then seeing guys like, for me, he's the number one guy in my division right now. You know what I mean? And I get to train with him and I get to see how I match up with him, and he's fought almost everybody in the division in the top 10, you know what I mean? So it's just an amazing feeling to know and be able to gauge yourself around so much talent and so many prospects in the UFC.
That's it, mate. And like you say, Formiga is he's up there right now. He's sort of seen as number one. Where do you think Cejudo goes next, in your opinion? What do you think he does next?
Well, I hear that it's the TJ and him at 35, which really for me it's really frustrating because I feel like they should just kind of let that go. Let the divisions run their course because, like I said, the top 10 of the 25 is stacked. The top 10 of the 35 is stacked. You got so many exciting fights in the divisions on their own. I feel these super fights it's almost like, I don't know, it's taken away from the rankings. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. I just wish that they would get back to the normal weight classes and all this super fight crap would stop.
Yeah, I think it kind of takes away from a super fight now. Like when happening so often. I love TJ versus Cejudo. I think it's a great fight, but now I think there's people at 35 and I think there's people at 25 that should be getting a shot. Aljo Sterling's doing great at the minute. Somebody, maybe, who knows? There's some top competition in both weight classes that kind of just sitting there right now. So like Formiga.
Yeah, Formiga especially, man. He's been in the UFC forever and has been waiting, to get to where he's at right now. And now it's like he gets there and then there's talk of the division being gone. I can only imagine what he's going through, as far as having a family and people you have to support. It's more than just, fighting for us, man. A lot of us have put our whole lives on hold and, uprooted our whole family to come and train, man. And then, stuff like this is happening. It's almost like I wish it would change, but you can't, I'm not going to push too hard on, I'm just going to, let them do what they're going to do, but hopefully they get it all figured out. And after this fight, if they do have the TJ Cejudo they let the divisions run their course, you know?
Exactly, man. Like I say, on your side, Benavidez, Formiga. On 35, you
Yeah,
got Marlon
Diaz,
Moraes.
man, it's been same thing for him, man. He's been going after it since WEC days, man. He deserves it just as much. So yeah, man, it's just it's a little frustrating, but it is what it is.
That's it, mate. And then Jose Shorty Torres. Is he at ATT?
Yeah, he actually just got back. He just got back. I want to say 2 days ago because he was out there with Duke Rufus out there in Wisconsin for a little while. He does a lot of gym hopping. He goes a lot of different places, man. He's able to do that with his management and stuff, I think. But yeah, man, he's at ATT right now. I guess he'll be here the next 3 weeks for his camp for his fight coming up.
Because the guy that he was going to fight, Amir Albazi, I'm chatting to him. He's based in London. Obviously, they were going to fight out in Manila. So, what was the extent of his injury? Do you know anything about it? Because it seemed like it was only postponed a little bit.
Yeah, I believe it was just like a bug he caught or something like that. He was throwing up for like 5 days straight or something. You know, just something simple. That's why I believe they just pushed it back a little bit.
Fair.
It's still an exciting fight. You know what I mean? So
yeah, Albazi, he's an undefeated guy. Yeah, he's fought in Bellator. He's an undefeated guy. It's a very good fight. But yourself now, so you're looking forward. You've got these next 8 days. You fly out on Tuesday. All goes to plan. You and Formiga both get the win. What's the plan after? What's the after party?
Well, man, afterwards, I got a lot of people coming up, so I'm definitely gonna hang out with the family and the kids, you know, and do the family thing. But I'm sure we'll have a little get together with the team. You know, there'll be a few guys up there. But again, I'm focused on the task at hand, and then we'll talk about that afterwards. You know what I mean? I gotta get this W, and the finish is what I'm looking for. Because I mean, obviously, as you said, I got a lot of split decision losses in the UFC, so I don't go too well with the judges. So I need to go out here and get a finish. You know, at the gym I'm at now, and the teammates I have now, we've been focusing a lot on finishing. You know, that's part of my game I want to get back to, because I used to finish guys left and right, and I need to get back to that. You know, so. We've been working on that, you know, focusing on finishing and getting in there and getting out, you know.
No, that's it, man. You know, you always bring it. There's no doubt that you're always looking to bring it. So, you know, I really hope this goes well for you, Eric. I really do believe it's going to be an exciting fight, and I really do believe it is going to go your way, in my honest opinion. But Eric, mate, I really do appreciate the time today. Enjoy some time with your family. Have a good one, and hopefully I'll hopefully be speaking to you after your victory on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate you having me on the show, brother.
Have a good one, man. Thank you.
You too, boss.